Oh my gosh. I was like, what was I going to say? You know how I'm notoriously early for everything?
Yeah.
Well, I'm even notoriously early for fucking Skypes. Like for, when you're meeting up with family or friends or when we go to record this podcast, I've been sitting here for the last 10 minutes with nothing but vodka in my hands waiting for you. And I was like, I'm going to be smashed by the time we start this.
What are you drinking? Is it? I see an olive. It's a full martini.
Well, except for it has the ice in it, which is kind of a big no-no for me. But yes, this is vodka, and those are olives.
And that's it.
That's it.
What normally goes in a martini? Vermouth?
Yes, and so if you want a martini dry, you put a little bit of vermouth in it. Like when I make a martini for someone, and I do have to say I make very, very good straight-up martinis, but I put like vermouth in it, and then I take the glass and I like coat it, and then I dump out the vermouth, and then I put in the vodka, and if you want it dirty or with a twist, whatever the details are.
Yeah.
But I find that the key to a good martini, because I don't like mine too dry, is to just coat the glass with vermouth, but don't leave any in there.
I'm distracted by John because I don't know if he knows his camera's on or if he wants it to be on or if it's supposed to be.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed on the podcast anymore. Okay, I'll go away. Bye.
All right. Yes. So I was just like sitting here. I was like, I'm going to be smashed by the time we start, which is a good thing because we haven't done a drinking podcast together in a really long time.
And we deserve a drink, or at least I do, because I just got back from Walmart, which was a fucking mistake to go on any day right now, because I've been driving by occasionally and I see there's always a lineup, and I thought today would be a good day to try. And
a Sunday?
It's Monday. It's 420. Happy 420.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So take a sip for 420. But it doesn't matter. Sunday, Monday, whenever you go, I feel like it's always a nut house. But the thing about it today was, once you get into the store, because everybody has to line up outside. I don't know if it's the same in Vancouver, but everyone lines up outside.
I haven't been out in a very, very long time.
Who's doing your hunting and gathering? Your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, good for Dawn.
My parents, actually, or my mom. But, like, I have no reason to go out. Like, I don't have a car. They're driving their car, right?
Yeah. Well, good for you. Princess
I've been to
Jenna.
the LCBO once.
Of course she has.
I've gathered once.
Well, here, and I'm sure it's the same there, you have to line up outside. So once you get into the store, it's actually kind of nice because there's less people inside. There's no lineups at the cashiers, but it's the lineup to get in that's a bitch. It takes like 30 minutes. But the new thing they added at my Walmart today was arrows on the floor, so you can only walk in a certain direction. And I didn't notice these arrows because, me, head in the clouds. And I got yelled at. They have multiple security guards at like aisles, and they were like, "Excuse me, ma'am." I'm like, "What?" It was really, they yelled at me. But then once I realized how to follow the arrows, it was kind of fun. It was like a Saunders Farm, like Halloween game maze.
So they just want it going one way so people don't pass each other, really.
Exactly. So it's like one-way streets, like downtown Ottawa.
Mm. You know how they mistook you for a woman? I will say that your hair is getting very long and you're starting to look more and more like a soccer mom.
It is getting to that a bit. I'm almost in the manager haircut stage.
Add my mascara. Close to Karen.
Close to Karen. And now I've started wearing mascara. What are we going to do? Your hair is also very long. Let's see. Stand up. Let's see how long your hair is getting. Oh, yeah. It's a little nipple tweeze there. What are you doing?
Right? It's actually gotten so long that I have to put in a braid when I go to sleep, or else I roll over and it like pulls it. And not in the fun, sexy kind of way.
Oh. So if you're just listening to this and not watching us, Jenna's hair is about nipple length. So in case you care.
Which is a lot, because not too long ago, remember, it was really short.
Yeah. You had a bob last summer.
Right. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I have a kind of a serious thing that I'm curious what you think about, because I've got into it with some internet trolls today about this whole pandemic. And you know how there's been a lot of pressure on everybody to do something. Your dad's learning a new language.
Mm-hmm.
We've been trying to get into at-home workouts, and
I've been mountain biking.
Yeah, but which is great. But you see these tweets being like, if you come out of this pandemic without knowing a new language, without a new skill, you're a lazy piece of shit. And it's not that you didn't have time, you just are unmotivated. Well, today, I don't know what about it is today, but I've seen so many counter arguments to that and articles being like, if you don't do anything, it's okay. We're going through a global pandemic. Take care of your mental health. And I don't see anybody weighing in being like, there's a happy medium here. You know, if you sit on the couch and watch Tiger King all day, you're going to feel worse than if you force yourself to work out, even if you don't want to.
Or even just remember what Leanne said in our podcast with her. She's like, those 3 concepts. One of them is movement, and it doesn't necessarily have to be exercise, but you need to move. And I think you're right. Like, it shouldn't be one or the other. Like, it's okay because your mental health is suffering. It's okay if you don't move or don't do anything. Because if you do move, and whether that's going for a brief walk or just honestly getting some fresh air on your balcony, to me, that is doing something, and that's going to in turn make you feel better mentally, and it'll help with your anxiety and your depression and your fear. But if you lay on a couch all day, don't do shit except for maybe check social media, like, I just don't see how that is healthy in any way.
That's right. So that's why I wanted to bring this up, because I think it's a slippery slope where I get what these psychologists are saying is like, don't put too much pressure on yourself, but also lazy people don't use that as an excuse to do shit all, because you're going to feel worse.
Well, I think it's a matter of like, I don't know. It's just, I think it's okay to feel a certain way. However, sometimes you have to be a bit stronger than how you feel. You can't always give in to that dark, deep void of, I want to shut myself out from the world.
Yeah, that's a very good way. What did you just say? That should be on a t-shirt too.
I don't know.
Be stronger than the way you feel. Now I know why you didn't want to do red wine today, because you won't have stained teeth. We can't tell how much you've been drinking.
Right.
In fact, I recently, my last LCBO run, I got a box of white.
Ew.
I know, but for the purpose of all these goddamn lives we're doing, I'm like, I don't want to have stained teeth, so I'm going to have to get back into the white wine.
Well, I didn't say stained teeth. I said I'm stoned, too.
Oh. Oh, Jesus.
Right. And that's, we hope this podcast gives everyone a break. I think this podcast is 100% selfish. It's for me and you to like kick back and shoot the shit and maybe entertain some people at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's more for our health.
Yeah, because nobody listens to this crap.
Right.
Except for producer John. Leave your camera off. Okay.
It's off!
Also, before we even get started, I forgot to do this, and honestly, Jesse, whatever your name actually is, because again, it's off of Instagram, so it's everyone's like, her name's like Jessie Babes or something on Instagram.
I thought you were making fun of me, like, because my hair's getting Karenish. I'm like, okay, Jenna.
Okay, No. She messaged asking if we could wish her a happy birthday, and I totally forgot, because I forget about birthdays all the time, no matter what.
Yeah.
So yes, happy birthday. So sorry. My uncle's the same way, and we were having a conversation today on Zoom, me and my whole family. And I have my mom's birthday's on the 29th, and my cousin's birthday also is like a few days before or something like that. He's awful at remembering birthdays, so now he's just finishing every Zoom call with happy birthday.
Like a generic, just one note.
We don't say goodbye anymore, because we also don't know how long this could be. Like my other cousin's is next, and then my birthday. So he's like, I'm just going to keep saying happy birthday in the hopes that like I don't ever miss a birthday. And we don't know how long this is going to go. So happy birthday, everybody. Happy
birthday. You are thinking about the birthdays. I remember our last episode, you mentioned your birthday too. You're really worried it's not going to be over by then, huh?
Oh my God. So I'm going to have to whisper a little bit. So get this, speaking of birthdays, this made me cry. Do you know how hard it is to try to like hold in happy crying in front of someone? So my mom's birthday is coming up on April 29th. Every year, her and her nurse friends do this amazing downhill mountain biking thing. And it's went from being like 5 people now to 40 people. Well, obviously this year they're not going to be able to do it. And it's all the nurses and doctors from the ER that do it together. Yeah. So, I was like, okay. And I can tell my mom's been feeling like kind of sad about her birthday being, on lockdown. So I was like, what can I do? So I reached out to like one of her nurse friends that I know. and was like, hey, can you ask some people to just send in videos of saying happy birthday? And I will go ahead and put them together. I sent it to my family. I sent it to some other of her friends. Anyways, I guess that nurse put it on like a communal Facebook page in the ER. I started getting bombarded with these videos from these ER nurses and doctors sending me, and they're in their scrubs saying happy birthday. And I was just like, this is so amazing that out of everything that's going on, they would take the time to actually do that, send it to me, and, you know, be in such great humor.
You just reminded me I have to send one.
Yeah, don't worry. You have until the 29th. Or, well, her birthday's the 29th.
I'm going to do it after this because I have my mascara on.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But I just thought
That's
that was
really
cute.
cute.
That the people that are trying to keep us alive and healthy and stuff, that have so much to worry about, including their own families, are going to take some time out to, you know, wish a lovely retired nurse happy birthday.
Oh, that's so cute. And I'm sorry to hear that Marta's having a rough time, because she always seemed to me like such a tough old bird. Like, I thought that's where you got it from. I thought nothing would faze her. Maybe you're just...
She is.
Maybe
But,
you're
like,
wearing her down is what I'm getting at. It's not the pandemic, it's you.
Maybe that, most definitely. But I also think it's the fact that she has so recently retired, and she's worried about, she calls them her second family. She's worried about everyone. And also that she doesn't get to do this downhill mountain biking. That was like the highlight of her year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, imagine having such a long, successful career as a nurse and retiring right before you are like, it's like a war. And you're needed. And so she might have a bit of survivor's guilt, for lack of a better term, of like, oh, great, like now I am needed and I'm not there. Aw, I love nurses. Totally. And while we're on shout outs, happy birthday to Jesse Babes, or whatever the hell her name is.
Yeah.
Also shout out to one of our listeners, Shayna DePaula, who is a nurse. And I love watching her late night snacks, because she comes home in the middle of the night and is just binge eating Aero bars. And it's like, girl, whatever you need to do to get through. Thank you.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you. She actually, I saw on her Instagram today that they have a drawer just full of chocolate in the ER. So they're staying healthy. Don't y'all worry.
Yeah, I got one of those drawers too, and no excuse for it. So
also on like a serious note too, we do have to say, like, our heart goes out to Nova Scotia.
Oh my God, yes.
Like, I woke up this morning and looked at my Twitter, and I saw like, it was like shooting in, I can't remember what the city is called, so sorry.
Shubenacadie.
Yeah, and it would be like NS. And you know what my first thought in my mind was? NS, what state is that? I was trying to think, like, what state is NS? Because I couldn't believe that would not only happen in our country, but happen in such a beautiful place with such awesome people like Nova Scotia.
Yeah. You know, one silver lining that well, it's not really a silver lining, I don't want to say that, but because any life loss is horrible, but I think they're saying it's about 10 or just over 10 people that passed away, and they're saying it might be the worst shooting Canada has ever seen.
Since Polytechnique in Montreal.
Oh, yeah. But you still see where I'm going. I'm like, good on us. Like 10 people, that's as bad as it is. Like in the States, what, 400? Like, come on.
It's also sad, though, that like, it's not even making headlines right now because COVID is so serious. I had to look up information on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone's
how's the hornies doing?
Oh, well, I let window guy come over to the window.
Did you really?
No, I didn't. But we did cyber. We had a cyber. We cybered on Snapchat video.
Like live?
Yeah, like phone call, video call. Aren't you proud of me?
Can you tell us what that was like? Because I've never done anything like that.
It was very
that your first time doing it?
You know, long, like since the MSN days. But it was very awkward because holding the holding the camera, and you know me and my lighting. So what I tried to do is I have a tripod that producer John gave me, and I tried to, he never thought it would be used for this, but I tried to set up my phone, but then it kept falling off, and like it just wasn't the right angle. So I was like, F this tripod, but I didn't realize it wasn't working until we were already on the call, so I had to think on the fly. So I'm like, what do I do? So I just tried to hold the phone, and it just wasn't good. It wasn't good because you're trying to hold the phone. You're worried about showing your stomach if it looks fat, and it's just I don't know that I would do it again.
So it's like regular sex with you.
Oh yeah, because you know so much about that. Yeah. I almost
you can keep the tripod now, Jesse.
Yes, I was hoping you'd say it's a great tripod. It really is. And for next time, I found a way to hook, because I have one of these like what do you call them, pop sockets on my phone. So I found a way to hook that into the tripod so it'll stay more stable. So we're gonna try again. But
did I give you a tripod, or is it like the monopod with like the little legs on it that stands on its own?
It's a tripod. It's tall. It's very tall.
Right.
Yeah. But damn it! Now you probably forgot you gave it to me. I was hoping you would.
No.
Anyway.
Carry on.
So, what was I going to say? So it was very awkward, and I almost wish I let him come to the window. Come to my window! Because,
your window.
Yeah, it would have been like the same effect, but not as cumbersome.
Well, how are you able to even get there when you're worried about lighting, you're worried about your angle, you're worried about holding your phone and not dropping it on your face?
Well, I was standing.
Oh.
It was a lot of this down shot style.
Is there a certain angle that men use to make themselves bigger than they are? Look bigger than they are?
I thought you'd never ask. So it really depends on the kind of appendage you have. Some men like to show off the balls. I was trying to think of a euphemism for them, like baloney pony, but I couldn't. But yeah, so it just depends on the angle that yours looks best. Kind of like your face. Some people look better from down here. Some people look better up here.
So you suggest to all those single men out there that are thinking about doing this to find their angles.
Find your angles. I'm sure most men listening already know theirs. It's like women and like, hair. You know where your hair looks good and when it doesn't. So anyway, I haven't talked to him a whole lot since because I feel
that's not what he wanted, and now there's no use for you anymore.
Well, but I haven't messaged him really either. Actually, he did message me right before, and I said, I have to record a podcast. Don't worry, I won't talk about you. Well, I'm not giving his name. Nobody knows who he is.
Right, exactly. That's what I've never understood with people that we date. If we do talk about them, and it's just like a random fling, like it's not anything serious where you're being seen in public together or have been pictured together, and you're talking about it, I don't understand why they get so offended. Like, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you're talking about me. Like, no one knows who the fuck you are because I haven't talked about you to any of my friends by name.
That's right. And if it gets serious, then I'll just pretend it's a new person that I haven't talked about.
Right. You are not that important to us.
Well, this one is. I suspect he's a doctor or something.
Well, then he's important to everyone right now.
Right, that's right. That's right. And thank you.
He's not an unsung hero. He's a hung hero.
He sure is. If he's a doctor. I don't know. Jury's still, he's very secretive. Anyway, I'm saying too much. I'll probably never talk to him again. I'm stuck with you forever because of this podcast. I have a glass of wine. I spill all the beans. What else do you want to know, fuck?
Blame it on the podcast and me if that makes you sleep at night.
It does. It does.
So the reason I even got and asked you about the horny is because a new survey discovered that 51% of men and 33% of women say that sex in porn, so like the actions you watch when you watch porn, are actually an accurate depiction of what sex is like in real life.
What percentage?
51% of men say it's accurate and 33% of women. I know why only 33% of women say that it's accurate, because it's not always a lot. Porn is not, in my opinion, women friendly, unless you're into that. We've talked about this many times. Like the woman's always used as the object of sex. Like, when can't a man be used as an object of sex?
Well, this is an interesting thing because you and I have very different experiences when it comes to what we watch on porn. And when it's man on man, sometimes you want to be the object.
Right.
And I'm sure for women, sometimes you want to be too.
I had a hard time answering this. The question of is sex in porn an accurate representation of what sex in real life is? Because I've never been able to watch a whole porn. Oh,
she's that quick, guys.
Well, yeah. I mean, what do you need to get things done? But like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just this woman, but I usually fast forward to the parts I want to watch.
Me too. Like near the end.
Right, or in the middle. Like, I usually skip like a lot of the foreplay because I don't need to see a woman gagging and teary-eyed with her mascara running. Like, I don't need to see that.
Right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I would have a hard time answering it too. It also depends on what video you're clicking on because there's a whole section on Pornhub called Pornhub Community where it's like regular people like us that upload their own videos. So depending on your mood, sometimes I like seeing the real people do it, not like produced makeup Corey Kanes of the world.
Right. Well, I don't know what Pornhub you're going to, but the Pornhubs I watch, they're definitely not like pre-produced with makeup and hair on site.
Oh, well, maybe you're in the community section. Check because like people can upload on Pornhub, but then there's also like the professional side of it.
Right.
You know, like Vivid Entertainment or Falcon Studio. Yeah.
The survey also found, like I was just saying, that majority of people who watch porn, half of them actually skip over all the dialogue to get to the action.
Okay, yeah. Normally I'm like that, but every once in a while there will be like it'll start like a movie with a normal scene, and if I really think the guys are hot, and this reminds me of our show Naked Attraction, because sometimes if the person's really hot and you're like, oh, you kind of want to get a vibe for what they're like before you just see them ramming it.
Right. And it kind of like leads up to like, it helps you put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like if it's like the hot assistant who's working after hours with her hot boss and, you know, like you can put yourself into that scenario.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Just too bad I don't have, you know, a hot boss or a job.
Oh, Jenna. Yeah. Here, let me ask you something while we're on the topic of porn. Is it the same for straight people? Because like as a gay, everyone's the same gender. So like when I'm watching a porn, I can either picture myself in it or I just am a dirty voyeur peeking in the window, like my new friend, you know, but for women, like, do you always imagine yourself as the woman, or is it sometimes hot to just watch another woman get railed?
That's a really good question. I don't know.
I've always wondered that about straight porn, particularly from the male perspective, because I always think, oh, how straight can a guy be if he likes watching another hard dick ram it in some woman? But I know it doesn't work that way in the straight brain, so.
Maybe they just watch the woman more. That's why in a lot of straight porns, like the men's face aren't even shown sometimes. It's just the women, the focus on the woman.
It's not
Maybe
fair.
they realize that will work for both men and women, straight men and women. Women can picture themselves being, you know, and then men, they don't pull the I'm so straight card that I can't watch a man dick.
Right, because if you don't know his identity, then it's not so scary. Yeah. Oh, you're probably right.
This is another thing I found really interesting about that survey is that the survey found that the average person watches porn an average of 9 times per month. Do you think that's accurate?
So wait a minute. So that's twice a week? A little over twice a week. It's twice a week except 1 week 3 times.
Right.
Yeah. I think that might be about right.
You seem a little nervous there, Jesse.
Because I'm trying to sound cool and I don't know if it should be more or should be less, but I think that actually sounds about on par for me.
You know what? Now that you say it, now that you broke it down into weeks, I think you are right. At first, I thought that was a lowballing. I thought people, well, let's be honest, in quarantine, people are watching 9 times a day.
Yeah.
But at first, I was like, oh, I don't feel like that's a lot. But now that you broke it down into weeks, like sometimes you're just too busy.
Twice a week. Yeah, like I don't know if this is an age thing even, but sometimes I feel like I should watch porn. Like, have you ever gotten there where I'm such a girl? I'm like, oh, it's been like 3 days. I guess I better do this. Like it's a chore.
Right, but sometimes you just don't care to watch.
Yeah. That's another thing. Boys, listen up. I have reconnected with my imagination in quarantine, and it's a wonderful thing. I think guys especially get so caught up in being visual and always having to watch porn when you're bopping your baloney, but sometimes your mind can be a wild ride.
So what do you do? Like turn on Sade and just like lean back and close your eyes?
What I do is I gaze out my bedroom window and imagine that there's a sexy man standing there.
Peeking in at you.
That might be something I'm into. I'm still considering it. You know, I'm a showgirl, so that could be right up my alley.
I do this.
1 olive down. Is it vodka soaked?
No, but the drink's almost done.
Oh, I thought we lost Jenna's audio for a second. Like, oh no, she's just chewing a fucking vodka olive. Okay.
All right.
All right, it's my turn. So, one headline, this is stupid. People are dressing up in formal clothes to take out the trash. Have you seen this going viral on Twitter?
You know, instead of wearing formal clothes, take out your old Halloween costumes and really make your neighbors laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. But I get the psychology behind that because I have never been more excited when we video call or do a podcast because I get to do my hair, put on a little powder and mascara, where normally that wouldn't excite me, but now it does.
See, I'm the complete polar opposite. I'm in total, low maintenance mode. Like, when we have to do this, I'm like, oh, I have to blow dry my hair and put a little bit of concealer on and maybe some mascara. Like, I am not excited about it at all.
And this is why we work well together. You're the man, I'm the woman. It's a great relationship.
Is that what it is, or are you just a lot more high maintenance than I am?
No, don't tell them I'm high maintenance. Everyone's already worried about that. I'm really not. I drink box wine and eat craft dinner. What do you want?
Right.
All right.
I mean, I blow dried my hair and put a little makeup on, but I definitely skipped the bra and pants part of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Should we do a pants check?
I mean, I have pants on, but they're sweatpants.
Well, do you need a refill? Should we? Here. Boop, boop. I've gotten into this underwear in quarantine. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh,
What kind
God.
of underwear is
John,
that?
I thought we told you to be quiet, John. No, what? You don't like my underwear? My Western underwear, John? Come on.
I watched you with Ms. Horizon the other day. I have seen more of your underwear than I have of my own this weekend.
Well, that's because you're not wearing any.
Well, I'll go back to my corner.
Underwear is for suckers.
Well, I've just realized I don't need pants. I first graduated to sweatpants. I'm like, fuck the sweatpants. Why do I need those?
Right.
Yeah.
No pants at all. Also, working out in your underwear is really fun.
Oh, that's what I do. But remember Leanne told us on our episode, which you should go listen to if you haven't yet. She said, try the bare feet thing, and I did, and I didn't like it. So I put my sneakers back on.
Okay. What was the headline you were just talking about?
The costumes to take out the trash and formal clothes. Yeah.
Wow, that's how fucking mind-blowing that headline was. I forgot about it in 2 minutes.
All right, let me try another one. Smugglers were busted trying to bring cocaine into the UK from Poland by hiding it in a box of face masks, which they thought because a lot of PPE equipment has been going through the border really quickly because it's in high demand. So kind of a clever idea because they thought, oh, they won't really check this. It's face masks. They've got to be safe.
I've heard of drug dealers putting cocaine into clay pots. So the clay that makes the pot is cocaine. Can they do that and maybe disguise it as toilet paper?
Oh, because toilet paper is so breaks apart easily?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just coming up with ideas here to smuggle drugs and make some extra cash.
Here's another one. Some popular gambling websites are seeing a lot lower traffic right now, so they've created new games taking bets on how many people in specific cities are going to get coronavirus, and you can bet actual money.
Oh, that's just lovely.
Lovely. Isn't that lovely? Yeah.
Vegas, I swear Vegas is going to try and open soon again because they're going to get desperate. There's going to be no money coming in. And the thing about gambling is everyone's like, well, if no one has any money, how are they going to gamble? People will find ways to gamble regardless of how much money they have.
I was speaking of Vegas. One thing I read was when it does reopen, the cost for I don't know what the word is in Vegas for hookers, not hookers, because you can go and play with girls in Vegas, and it's not a hooker, it's not quite a stripper, but it's someone will bounce their boobs in your face because you're in Vegas.
I didn't know that you could do that. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so apparently that used to be $20 to have a boob bounce, and now it's going to be triple. It's going to be $60 because they're going to be trying to make up for all the money they lost. So there's some experts saying Vegas is never again going to be what it once was because no one's going to be able to afford it.
I think it will grow. It won't be the same. Nothing's going to be the same right away.
Yeah. What are you eating?
Sorry, I just finished that second olive. My bad. I used to do this when we were on the radio all the time. I'd like go and take a
Yeah,
bite
you
like
did.
10 seconds before we had to go on air. And I'd be like, why'd you do that, Jenna?
The worst thing to ever eat on air is almonds. I don't know what it is about almonds.
They're super
I don't know if
crunchy.
Yeah, but you would choke like because the bits stay in your teeth a little bit, so you'd be in the middle of a break or a segment, and you'd just start choking.
Right.
I remember that.
Have you noticed that a lot of married couples that when we started quarantine were like, I'm so happy to be quarantined with this person.
We
My
even
person,
said that.
My team. Well, you're not seeing a lot of those posts anymore.
Nope.
Apparently, there is one thing you can do together to be happier as a couple if you are starting to feel the strain. And that is none other than drink.
Hey, cheers.
Hold on.
Yeah, we
I
take long
almost
sips.
swallowed my toothpick. So there was a new study that actually found that if couples drink together in moderation, they're both happier together. There's
Okay.
a catch, though. If only one is drinking and the other one isn't, no bueno.
Oh yeah, well that applies to any relationship.
Yes.
Drunks and sobers don't mix.
The key part of this happiness drinking depends entirely on how much you drink and at what time you're doing the drinking. So if you get drunk over breakfast, it might not be the best idea. And if you think back in the days of when you'd always get in fights with your significant other when you were drinking because you were young and stupid, it usually was from all day drinking. And it was usually when one person was more drunk than the other. Like, it makes perfect sense. So if you do drink, you need to drink as a team.
Yeah, shot for shot.
Shot for shot. You do a body shot, I'll do a body shot.
But I think it's smart you said in moderation, not that we care about that, but as someone who was in a relationship for a long time, if you tip over that moderation mark, that's when the fighting starts. Why did you look at him?
Right?
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Why did you like his picture?
So maybe it's just like splitting a bottle of wine every night over dinner.
But a Magnum. Oh, I'll tell you something about wine. This quarantine has fucked me because I'm fully into the boxes now, Jenna, for the rest of my life. What is the point of a bottle? You have to return it. You're cut off. How many nights have we had a 750 milliliter bottle and it wasn't enough?
But
Don't
like,
have to...
that's a good thing, Jesse. We need to only drink 750.
Yeah, but we don't, though. We open another bottle, and then that's double the price. So you might as well get a box. I'm team box from now on. I've converted in my young 30s. This is when I switched. I thought it'd be when I was 65, but no, it's now.
Are you? I've never heard a Gold Star gay say he switched to the box.
I should finish the sentence. Boxed wine. Boxed wine.
You heard that. He's a box boy now. Ladies.
Hey. Or I shouldn't say hey like that if I'm a box boy. Hey, man. Yeah.
Hey, bruh.
All right. What else do I have here?
That's it. I'm done. That's all I got.
All right. We'll do a couple more. A woman in Utah went viral this week after she started wearing a face mask with cartoon penises on it. Did you see that?
Oh my gosh, I think I did.
So she started making them for charity. She's already raised over 50 grand, which is awesome. And she's donated that all to the coronavirus, whatever the fuck. But the great part about it was her caption said, if you can see these dicks, you're too close. Back the fuck up.
Right.
Because they were mini. Yeah.
They were micro-peens.
Micro-peens. All right. What else? Warehouse stores are making it easier for frontline workers to shop. Costco has introduced hero shopping hours. So they block it, but turn a certain time. Or Costco lets nurses and stuff skip the line.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So as I was telling you, that's the biggest part. Because how long did I wait at Walmart today? It was about 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
We had someone writing into us or left us a post. One of our listeners was going to Costco today, and she said she only waited 10 minutes outside.
Katie, that was Katie. She is Lopez and Lincoln's dog groomer. Yeah. Yeah, she did. She said it was only 10 minutes. And you asked her a weird ass question.
I asked her if they sell box dye because I'm going to have to dye my hair 50 million times if this goes on.
I'm sure they do. I don't know, though, if Costco does, because I never go into the pharmacy section because I'm too cheap. But I thought, I know you were trying to be funny, but I thought you were serious because I thought your hair's gotten so long, you need more than one box.
I might, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to save the hair. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, should I go and get some hair dye? Because I'm getting a lot of grays. It's driving me nuts. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Because I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm going to save that for right before I fly home so that when Jesse picks me up, I don't get a gasp of horror when I come off the airplane.
You know, I've been trying to think of ways of how can I
have no choice. And honestly, fuck you. We've been under quarantine.
I've been trying to think, like, how could I tell her, like, but you're right. I have no way out of it. You finally got me.
I finally did. I finally had to trick you into doing something kind.
It's not doing something kind. I'd be happy to share my wine with you. I just don't like picking people up at the airport because it's normally a clusterfuck. But now it will be okay because, you know, pandemic.
Right. And then we can have a drink and you can actually like hang out with a person.
No, this is a little bit different. This is, I will miss you by then. And, you know, that'll be very exciting when, and
it's
just
like, it's been like a month. You don't miss me yet?
Well, I see you a couple times a week. Give it another month. But no, the celebration will be that I'm actually allowed to come pick you up. That's awesome.
Right.
So,
well, even if I flew back tomorrow, you'd still have to come pick me up.
Yeah. Any word on your return yet? I've been wondering if your parents are getting ready to kick you out.
I know. I'm pretty sure they are. They're pretty close. I'm pretty close to swimming back to Ontario, even though that's not even possible.
Well, that was my next question. Yeah, we can say about the parents, but how about you living with your parents again at 31?
You know, everything balances out when you have good food, the ocean view, and weed.
And wine.
And vodka now.
Oh my God, you guys listening, can you believe it? She's been in BC a month. She already left wine out of her lineup. That's the whole basis of this program. Now all she needs is that BC ganja. It's good enough out there.
And this vodka. Don't forget the vodka.
Okay. I have a bottle in my freezer. Or maybe I should get into that.
Right. I've stepped up my game.
Okay. Should I give you one more headline for
Sure.
end on a positive? So, did you see this British World War II vet? Oh,
yes. Bless his heart.
So cute. So he's been walking for charity around his yard, but he's like 99. He's raised $20 million.
No, it's not dollars. It's actually pounds, which are more than dollars.
Oh my God. One old man. This is what it says. His goal was to walk across his back patio 100 times by his 100th birthday. And he finished yesterday, 2 weeks early, and hundreds of people have signed the petition for him to be knighted. But the important thing is 20 million. The only question I have, though, is we hear about these monies being raised, and that's great. But where are they actually going, and what are they doing?
Like the money?
Yeah.
I think they pick up like a certain charity. So I know there was that big celebrity concert that Lady Gaga put on the other night.
And
it raised over $127 million, which I found funny because with all the celebrities that they had in that video, each one could have donated it like $1 million and they would have raised the money. Also, the fact that one old man can raise over $22 million by walking his garden, and it takes how many celebrities to raise 127 is kind of funny too. But they allotted it to the WHO organization, the World Health Organization. I'm sure he picked a charity and that's the one he's donating, or he probably picked like 3 or 4. I don't really know who he's donating to.
But that's the interesting thing about the story, like Gaga's concert and this old man, is the money is out there. You just have to pull on the heartstrings in the right way to get people to donate it. And, you know, celebrities, maybe people don't give a shit anymore.
We've been talking about this ever since quarantine started, how people just stop giving a shit about celebrities. I don't care how you're suffering, or I just like, how about you do your part, donate your money, go volunteer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like do something, you know.
Well, and also I've noticed now that I can see them all on Skype in their living rooms, I'm like, oh, you're not that special.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Your sweatpants are my sweatpants.
That's right. But you know what? When I see stories like that old man, and I go back to what we were talking about at the beginning of people arguing to be lazy and just lay on their couch all day and watch Tiger King, if a 99-year-old man can get out and make a difference, we're not asking you to do that, but, you know, do something. Bake cookies. Right. Call your mom. Like, just don't waste every single day.
I'm sure he's been adding a few years to his life, too, by walking. Helps improve his circulation, his heart, everything. Yeah.
Maybe not a few years. He is 99, but you know, I see what you're saying.
I hope he lives forever.
Me too. All right, we both need a refill, so you know that's the end of the episode,
Yep,
guys.
you know
John,
what
you
else
still
I
there?
have to do? I always have to pee.
Yeah, I have to pee too, actually.
Well, stay alert, stay safe, my friends.
I just want to hear from John to make sure he's been recording this.
Oh, you wanted me to record this?
Oh, see? I knew it. Fuck. See, look, this is what we get.
We didn't get the AFK note, though.
You're not gonna let that go, are you?
No.
Do you know that? Do you know how many times? Because the Comedy Channel right now is running a Big Bang marathon. Do you know how many times that episode has come up and they talk about AFK, and I just pissed myself laughing at you two who don't know what AFK means.
Excuse me, you posted on Facebook. I'm pretty sure your fans agreed with us.
My fans always agree with you instead of me.
Yeah, right. On that note,
so does my wife.
double cheers. Cheers, Jenna.
Cheers.